You're 25. You've got your whole life ahead of you, but your bank account tells a different story. You're not lazy. You work, you scroll through endless hustle content, you dream about freedom, but somehow you're stuck in the same cycle of paycheck to paycheck, wondering why nothing ever changes. The truth might sting, but it's simple. If you're still doing this one thing, you'll never escape being broke. Today, we're cutting through the noise and calling out the habits that keep people trapped in financial stagnation long after they should have broken free. This isn't about your parents' income, your degree, or the job market. This is about what you're choosing every single day. In this discussion, we'll cover 5 key mistakes that quietly sabotage your financial future in your mid-20s. First, we'll talk about how avoiding responsibility keeps you powerless, no matter how hard you work. Second, we'll break down why constantly blaming your circumstances, even when they're legitimately unfair, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Third, we'll expose the danger of not building real, marketable skills during the most fertile learning years of your life. Fourth, we'll look at the illusion of just getting by and how it trains you to accept a life of mediocrity. And fifth, we'll tackle the myth that success will magically find you if you just wait long enough. Stick around, because at the end, I'll give you one direct, no-excuses call to action that can change everything, starting today. Welcome, I'm glad you're here. If you're ready to stop making excuses and start building a real future, hit subscribe on the YouTube channel, Elevate Your Daily. Let's get into it. 1. Avoiding responsibility is the fastest way to stay broke forever. At 25, you're no longer a teenager. You're not in high school where someone tells you what to do every hour of the day. You're not even in college where the structure of semesters and deadlines gives you a safety net. You're an adult now, and adulthood means one thing above all else. You are 100% responsible for your life. Yet so many people in their mid-20s still act like passengers, not drivers. They wait for someone, a boss, a partner, a government program, even a viral moment to come in and fix their situation. They say things like, "I'd save money if I made more," or "I can't get ahead because my job doesn't pay enough," or "I'll start my side hustle when I have more time." But here's the brutal reality. No one is coming to rescue you, and the longer you wait for permission, for ideal conditions, or for someone else to make it easier, the deeper you dig your hole. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's your power. The moment you accept full ownership of your finances, your career, and your daily choices, you unlock the ability to change them. Buffett himself didn't wait for perfect conditions. He started investing as a kid, selling gum and newspapers, because he understood that action, not justification, builds wealth. At 25, you don't need a perfect plan. You need to stop pretending your choices don't matter. Every time you blame your bank balance on the system while spending hours on TikTok or ordering takeout, you're choosing comfort over control. Responsibility means looking in the mirror and saying, "This is on me," and that means I can fix it. It's uncomfortable, it's humbling, but it's the only doorway out of broke. 2. Blaming your circumstances is a trap disguised as truth. Look, let's be real. Some people start with more advantages than others. Some have supportive families, trust funds, or connections. Others face real systemic barriers. But here's what successful people understand. Your starting point doesn't dictate your finish line. Blaming your circumstances might feel honest, even righteous in the moment, but it's also a prison. Because as long as you believe your life is determined by outside forces, you give away your agency. You become a victim of your past, not an architect of your future. Warren Buffett didn't come from extreme poverty, but he certainly didn't start as a billionaire. He built his empire through relentless focus on what he could control: his knowledge, his decisions, his patience. At 25, you have massive advantage: time, more energy, and more room to fail and learn. Yet many waste this golden window waiting for the world to become fairer before they take action. That's backwards. The world isn't fair, so you have to work smarter, not wait longer. Blaming your student loans, your rent, or your entry-level salary might explain why you're broke now, but it won't solve it. What solves it is asking, what can I do with what I have today? Maybe you can't get a raise yet, but can you learn a new Excel function that makes you indispensable? Can you take on a freelance gig that builds your portfolio? Can you cook at home 2 more nights a week and invest that $40? These aren't magic bullets, but they're acts of defiance against helplessness. Every time you shift from "this is why I can't" to "this is what I can try," you chip away at the wall of excuses. Your circumstances may shape your beginning, but your choices shape your ending. And at 25, you're still writing the first real chapters of your adult story. Don't let blame be the main character. 3. Not building real, marketable skills in your 20s is a silent career killer. Your mid-20s are not the time to coast. This is your prime skill-building decade, the period when your brain is wired to learn quickly, your responsibilities are relatively light, and the world gives you grace for being new. Yet so many people treat their first job as just a paycheck, showing up, doing the bare minimum, and clocking out. They spend their free time binge-watching shows or doom-scrolling instead of investing in themselves. The result? 5 years later, they're still in the same role, with the same pay, watching others leapfrog them, not because those people are smarter, but because they chose to grow. Warren Buffett didn't just read financial statements, he built deep, specialized knowledge in industries he understood. He knew that true wealth comes from value creation, and value comes from skill. At 25, you don't need to be an expert, but you do need to be a builder. What can you do that others can't or won't? Can you write clearly, analyze data, design visuals, code, negotiate, sell? These aren't just job skills, they're freedom skills. Every hour you spend learning something valuable is an hour you're paying yourself in future opportunity. The market rewards rare and useful abilities, not just time spent at a desk. If you're not actively upgrading your skills through online courses, side projects, reading, or seeking mentorship, you're falling behind, even if your job feels stable. And the job market changes fast. AI is coming for tasks, not just jobs. The people who survive and thrive are those who can adapt because they've built a toolkit of transferable, high-demand skills. Don't wait for your employer to train you. Take ownership. Pick one skill this quarter that could double your value in your field and master it. Your future self will thank you, not for the job you kept, but for the abilities you built. 5. Living in just getting by mode trains you to accept a life of mediocrity. There's a dangerous comfort in being perpetually broke but functional. You pay your rent, you cover your phone bill, you eat, and you tell yourself, I'm surviving. But survival isn't living, it's waiting, and just getting by becomes a habit that rewires your brain to tolerate low standards. You stop imagining a different life because you're so focused on making it to Friday. You stop saving because you convince yourself you can't afford to, even if it's just $10 a week. You stop dreaming big because your energy is spent managing scarcity, not creating abundance. This mindset is seductive because it feels realistic, but it's actually a form of surrender. Buffett's entire philosophy is based on the idea that small, consistent actions compound into massive outcomes. But if you're always in emergency mode, always reacting, never planning, you never give those small actions a chance to grow. At 25, you have time on your side, but only if you use it intentionally. Just getting by today becomes stuck forever tomorrow. The alternative is to live with a margin, even a tiny one. That means spending less than you earn, even if it's just $5. It means building a $100 emergency fund, then $500, then $1,000. It means saying no to one impulse buy so you can say yes to your future. This isn't about deprivation, it's about declaring that your life is worth more than fine. You owe it to yourself to aim higher than survival. Because if you normalize scraping by now, you'll find yourself at 35, 45, or 55, wondering where the years went and why you never got ahead. So here's your call to action. Today, not tomorrow. Stop explaining why you're stuck. Start proving you're not. Pick one thing from this list, just one, and take concrete action on it before the day ends. If you've been avoiding responsibility, open a free investment account and put in $5. If you've been blaming your circumstances, spend 30 minutes learning a new skill online. If you've been coasting at work, ask your boss for a stretch assignment. If you've been just getting by, cancel one unused subscription and transfer that money to savings. If you've been waiting, send that email, make that call, post that project. Ownership isn't a grand gesture, it's a series of small, defiant choices that say, I'm in charge of my life. At 25, you're not behind, you're right on time. But time won't stay your ally forever.